Hey everybody, Jayborino here, welcome back. Thank you for joining me as we continue to showcase Maporino 2019 submissions. We have another conversion mod for StarCraft Brood War 1.1.16.1. Again, I have randomized the order, so it is coincidental that this is so close to when I played the previous conversion mod. Alright, so this was submitted by rossvilledylan, which uses his Liberator mod, which I think is version 2.1.1 now. He submitted a map last year called Liberation of Hawaz, which used the same Liberator mod, just an older version of it, so it's cool to see that he's still working on this. The map is called Trench Warfare. My friends voice acted for me. This uses a mod, and I therefore do not recommend playing without it. Please enjoy. Let's get into it. Reganus has fallen. Hawaz, the metropolis, is shattered. Astinda, the colony, is consumed. Now in the backwater world of Xeris, the rebel armies of Angus Wright and the federal forces of Daniel Stombaugh meet for the first time. This once beautiful world with rolling green hills and gushing streams has now been defiled by miles of trenches across its once verdant countryside. It is up to the veteran officer, Japra Wek, to see that the Federacy does not fall this day. Press start. I vaguely recall Liberation of Hawaz ending with, there was a Zerg invasion. I'm not sure if they were Zerg in that map or not, but then also a rebellion happening. So maybe this is an extension of that same conflict.
Apes. I don't think you need reminding, but just in case the past 3 weeks of hell have slipped your minds, I'll give you the skinny. Commander Black over there thinks he's got us beat. The Elnec have taken most of the trenches and are practically on our feckin' doorstep. I need you to move your sorry excuses for butts and claim those trenches so we can get reinforced. Since Black is being supported by the Elnec fleet directly, he'll probably have more than us. More men, more resources, and more flexibility. But we've got something he doesn't. Me. Now let's liberate this sorry excuse for our planet and get back to fighting space cockroaches.
Yeah, so there are two conflicts still happening. Check your mission objectives. Destroy Commander Fisk Black's headquarters. Japra Wek must survive. Take control of trenches by having the most units in them at a time. Okay. Check out StarCraft tips section to read about the new faction. You may have to scroll. Okay, well, I didn't look at these. I haven't opened this map. So let's... I mean, I'm not going to read every single one of these, but having this sort of information is useful. You know, putting it in a README would also be really helpful. But this is... the fact that it's in-game here is also quite nice. I'm not going to take the time to go through all of this. It keeps going. So something about lore. No more Warhammer references. This is a serious codex of knowledge. Damn it, Jenkins. When Lieutenant Wek finds out, he'll kill us. Okay, so I suppose let's maybe get into it. If I have to review the codex, we can. So I can't control these folks. I was able to take control of the purple units, at least.
Have the command channel.
I've got
Japra
Wek.
Orders received and understood.
Who is a hero. I just noticed the entire overlay here has changed. Like, the portrait is up here, and the command card is stretched horizontally. Very intriguing. Defensive Matrix Tesla Grenade. Deploy Smoke Screen. We've got Enforcers who can use holographic grenades.
Standing guard.
And then a TCC which can load units into it. Does splash damage with concussive damage, but also has Marauder missiles.
You have the command.
Maybe the missiles attack air, I'm not sure.
Call in, men. It's time for war.
Okay, we got some guys coming up here, so I guess let's follow them. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for or where I'm going.
Orders received and understood. Call in, men. It's time.
Is this guy going to be able to fit? We're going to find out.
Standing guard.
Come on, Japra, you're not really trying to fight back. Just lay down your arms and wait for my man to come and arrest you. No hard feelings?
Heading out.
Let's come on down here and grab these Enforcers and Storm Marines. I thought the Storm Marines were the ones that revolted.
Standing guard. Awaiting orders.
But it's possible that...
we are ready.
It's possible that some of them are still loyal to us, so I guess let's go and grab these folks. So I guess these are the trenches, and we have to get up here and kill enough guys to take control of the trenches ourselves. So this, at first glance, to me, strikes me as like a tug-of-war type map, which is nice because I can understand what the heck is happening. But that's very important, because if I don't understand what's happening, then that just makes the fact that there's a custom faction even more confusing. But I think I understand what's happening here. Let's wait for Jets. Let's wait for Japra Wek to get up here. He's blocking my other folks coming in here. We got some StarCraft 2 music happening. Look at these enforcers. They're able to just bomb. See, yeah, the enemies are Storm Marines. Our guys are able to just blast through this stuff. I think I'm just going to wait for Mr. Jafra, who does not have their own attack. I want to try the Tesla grenade as well.
Fall in, men. It's time for war.
I think as long as I move up here, we should take control of the trenches. Cantonment.
You have the
Awaiting
command
orders.
channel.
Let's just move up with Jafra.
You want to live forever?
Again, I'm waiting for an enemy wave to make their way
already-
here. I wonder if the whole map is literally just going to be zigzagging all the way up to the top.
Standing guard.
They clearly are going to have units moving towards us, but
Heading out.
they just haven't made it to us yet, so...
You have the command
See,
channel.
now we have this trench and more
Come on,
units
you
down
sons.
here, so
You
let's
wanna
just
live forever?
get up here. We've been required to do virtually nothing so far. So we'll see what happens. Okay, there's some geysers up here, so it's possible we just kind of need to get through these first few layers before we see something else start to happen. I'm just not sure.
Your command.
I really enjoy how fast these enforcers are. It's like almost like they're meant to be sort of melee units, but they function more like...
We'll hold them off. We're on the move.
They function more like, yeah, again, like melee units, but they're actually ranged with these like concussive grenades and such. All right, let's avoid getting too close to the edge there.
Moving to destination.
Most of our units have shields, don't they? So it's okay if we
already-
take some hits.
Awaiting orders.
You have
Maybe
the
we
command
can get
channel.
my units up here to take control of the trench, which should, it's
Okay,
possible.
boys, I've just got word that Sergeant Deltron has cleared the left flank. El Neck are running.
Sergeant Deltron leading the charge, flanking. Not really leading the charge, doing the smarter move. Jayborino leading the charge foolishly while Deltron flanks them,
We are ready.
doing the smart thing. Fewer casualties, opening the door for the rest of us. All right, so
Come on, you
here they come.
wanna live forever?
Wow. Wow. Rebel militia, get out of here. Where are you guys going?
Guard.
So maybe if we just move into the trench, we can take control of it again. We just need enough units inside of it to take control of it. I don't know if that count. Yeah, see, there we go. And so we get control of the sentry guns. That seems really important. So let's get up here.
Standing guard.
This might be Deltron's forces up here. I'm not sure. But it's going to take me some time to get all the way up here. But see, if we would have done that with these layers as well, we could have kept control of the sentry guns. So I think I should have tried to storm up here faster than our allied enforcers did, because they ended up killing all the sentry guns, like I mentioned. Yes, walk into my sentry guns, you fools! I think they are melee. They have riot shotguns, so they, yeah, basically a melee. Wow, look at how much damage those do. That's awesome.
None shall
Dr. Weck
pass.
reporting in.
Okay.
Time for war.
A possible base to be set up here? I have no workers as far as I can tell. Maybe we just need to link up with Deltron's forces, and they'll give us some workers. I also want to move up here and take control of this trench without too many of the sentry guns going down, so let's move on in.
You slugs, you wanna live forever?
There we go.
My men are yours to command.
Now we have a Centurion.
You have the command channel.
Commander.
All right, let's see if we can move up here and take control of this ourselves first. Then all the sentry guns will turn. Yep, just like that.
We are ready.
Awaiting orders.
So there are resources here, but I'm sort of unclear on if I should be able to build something, or maybe
We are ready.
workers are a different unit that I'm not quite picking up on.
Awaiting orders.
My men are yours to command.
Okay, they're sending stronger units, so I'm just going to go ahead and auto-attack with what I
Awaiting
have.
your word.
I should probably get into a position where I need to use my specialist units, but I don't know. The sentry guns aren't super useful. We need to support them, otherwise they go down really, really quick.
Attacking the enemy.
Still not sure if maybe there was supposed to be something that allows me to expand up here. Maybe I was supposed to explore near the beginning, closer to the beginning.
We'll hold them off.
I think these I really shouldn't just be running in like this. There we go. I kind of want to try the smoke screen, which I assume is going to be like a variant of Dark Swarm, which would be perfect for
You have the command channel.
these enforcers.
Standing guard.
I like the idea, like they're ranged but not. You know, like they're ranged but not exactly. How do these do concussive damage? They got an extra 10 range, and they do splash damage too. That's just excellent.
Awaiting orders.
So this is, I think, more about just keeping our continual roll-up. I don't want to stop for too long. I feel like stopping is just going to result in... Ooh, what are these guys? Cataphract. Okay, they're coming in with tanks now too. So yeah, they're getting more. Yes, I now have control of the trench. I don't have vision of the trench. Okay, this is not gonna work.
Heading out.
This is not gonna work.
Awaiting orders.
Back up.
Jabber Whack reporting in.
So these tanks are challenging. We need what
You have the command, Jack.
has explosive damage that would work against them. Storm Marines are concussive.
We'll hold them off.
Concussive.
Conducting
I think I need these.
survey.
Standing guard.
I think whatever this thing is, it's like a siege weapon of some sort. The enforcers, unfortunately, are just going to have to get killed. Ultimately.
Awaiting instruction. Pick your targets.
Awaiting orders.
And the reason I say that is because they're going to cover the salamander.
Stay sharp.
As it just blasts away from
Awaiting
range.
orders.
So, like, you guys stay down here for now, that's fine. Japwo Rex is fine. We just do this. Yes, exactly.
Conducting
Salamander, move up. We're going to have to inch with the salamander to get through this section.
The enemy shall know fear.
There we go. That does not do friendly fire, thankfully. They've got SCVs. Where are my SCVs?
Awaiting your
Let's
word.
keep moving up. Let's not get too far ahead of the salamander, which is absolutely crucial in killing the tanks.
field reconnaissance.
Is that my medic who just made her way all the way? I think it was. It wasn't. It's not a medic, understand, but... Okay, the tanks are gone, so that's my opportunity to move up.
Your command.
Okay, let's get in there. Japwa Wek also making her way in.
Jabber Whack reporting in. We are ready.
There we
Moving to
go.
destination. All right, men. I've just received word that HQ is sending us an experimental weapon, something called a rig. It'll be here shortly.
It seems like my... There it is. Reinforced infantry engine. Does explosive damage, normal damage versus ground, so it does full damage against everything on the ground. That's big.
Awaiting your word.
Okay, so we got Japra, Hotkeyed, and then the Salamander. Super important. It can also load up units.
Commencing field reconnaissance. Scouting out the enemy positions.
Also, my second
Observe the field of
order.
battle.
Centurion did not die. I thought she did.
Standing guard.
No, it's possible I had 3. I may have picked up another one at some point.
Commander?
Okay, so let's wait for this thing to get up to us. It's going to take approximately 8 to 10 years for this thing to make
We
its
are
way
ready.
all the way up the map. But as long as we camp
All
the
in,
Salamander
man.
up here,
Time for
and then throw down some defensive matrices.
Troopers, Sergeant Azathan has cleaned out the right flank. Cowards didn't even resist him.
Now that's a name I've not heard for a long time. A long time. Azathan's doing well. I'm still on his Discord. He's just he's living his best life. He got a new job. He's just been really busy, so I know he's not streaming as often
We are ready.
or really putting any videos on
Come on, you
on
slugs.
YouTube.
You wanna
But
live forever?
good old Azathan.
Go ahead, TACOM.
Oh wow, we're getting allied salamanders making their way up here. That's good stuff. Okay, so let's just wait for this guy to make his way all the way up, and we can lead with him, and we can just use defense. Stop it! Don't make me kill my allies. I'll do it if I have to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't want to do it, but the path blocking, man. So now I have to babysit this. It would have been nice to, like, when this gets triggered, have this thing dropped in this general vicinity, close to where we already are. That would be ideal. No blockers here, so let's just walk him up there. No blockers here. No blockers here. I like this symphonic remix of StarCraft music.
Your command.
Let's take an enforcer. Actually, wait.
Boots, lads.
I just wanted to come up here and look and see what was here.
They'll not get past us.
I don't want to trigger them into sending a bunch more units. Again, I wanted to make... Now that this isn't blocked, in theory, our allies... Well, they may be broken. It's possible they're busted. I'm not sure. I feel like these units were supposed to have moved out. Like, we're supposed to be pushing with them.
Orders.
We've made really good progress through the map, though, so I'm feeling pretty good that we will be able to finish this. It's just we're waiting for this guy who's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more laps to make. So I'll get back to you when he gets up there. Okay, he has made it.
Go ahead, TACOM.
Reinforced infantry engine, Sergeant Major.
We are ready.
We observe the
Okay,
field of
so
have the
who do we
command
want to
down.
lead with? I think we still lead with the enforcers. The big issue is if you run them in there and there happen to be enemy tanks, they just get absolutely roasted.
Stand ready.
Just immediately roasted. All right, now we now have control of the sentry guns, which means storm down the front with enforcers. I don't see any tanks, which means we should be able to take these out. So, I guess my question for Rossville is, do you have a macro equivalent
You want to live forever?
for this faction? Because I'd love to experiment more with it. Because I really like, as I've gotten new stuff, I realize, like, oh shit,
We observe
we got the
the field
salamander,
of
it's so good, and you have to use it in the right way in order to take out the enemy tanks, otherwise you're going to lose all your infantry. And when I realized that, it's kind of like the light bulb going on, nice rewarding feeling.
Systems
Probably going to be the same with the infantry engine, if I had to guess. I really like the look of the tanks, by the way, with the treads. These treads look like they move. I think the salamander treads don't, though, so it's kind of hovering. But that's kind of a minor asset detail, I think, at the end of the day.
Awaiting orders.
But I pointed out, obviously, so that it can be fixed if desired.
Awaiting your word. Orders received.
Okay, we have a larger area up here. We have every trench under control now,
Come
and
on,
we
you
still have some
slugs.
sentry
You wanna live
guns
forever?
along, not here, but some of these still have sentry guns. So if the enemy has a big push
Go
backwards
ahead,
towards
Al.
us, then hopefully...
Comlink online. Confirmed.
we'll be able to hold them off for longer. I like how there's like background sound effects of battle happening. The music has stopped, though, and I will just go ahead and save just in case.
Jepperweck reporting in.
I consider... You know what? I'll try loading and seeing if maybe that kicks the music back off. No.
Awaiting your word.
Yes. Okay, good.
Come on, you slugs. You want to live forever?
Awaiting orders.
That's definitely that's a reference to Starship Troopers.
the
Come on,
command
you
now.
apes! You want to live forever? Except now there are
Come on, you
slugs.
slugs. You want to live forever?
Okay, so let's
Standing guard.
kind of have a defensive position here with the tanks in the front,
Conducting
and then just start
battlefield
blasting away
survey.
with the salamanders.
Standing guard. Heading out.
You stay here on hold position.
Conducting battlefield survey.
We stand ready. Moving out.
Okay, they're starting to move up the trenches. Our allies, unfortunately, are not, but even just one Storm Marine is enough to stop these guys as they try to move in.
We observe the field of battle.
All right, great. Again, we're going to keep moving up with the Salamander.
Systems functional.
This guy's doing a good job, too. I think we just use the tanks specifically to target down buildings.
Acknowledged.
And then we cover with our infantry, because there really isn't much armor in this base. Okay, there's some armor in this base. Let's go, Salamander. I need you. Salamander, take the shot.
Moving to destination.
I think I need... Okay, that's fine. I need to get rid of these factories as soon as possible, because these tanks.
Conducting battlefield
Awaiting your word.
Let's throw down a smoke screen and see if this helps. Yeah, it is indeed exactly what I thought it was.
We stand ready.
I don't have many units left to storm through the smoke screen, though. But in any case, a lot of their stuff is still ranged, so as long as we sit in this, we're in good shape.
Standing guard.
TCC, again, you do pretty good explosive damage.
Standing guard.
Systems
This guy just doesn't know where he wants to go, I think.
We stand ready.
So I lost a lot of units in this general engagement. It's very hard to not lose your Storm Marines. The enemy tanks do AoE, which makes sense, right? This may be the ultimate goal here, to kill. I'm not sure.
Awaiting your word.
I definitely get a Warhammer feel from this, and also in terms of balanced faction, it sort of has almost a Command and Conquer feel just in terms of the mechanics. Infantry is very heavily countered by vehicles, as opposed to just... again, it's more like categorizations of units as opposed to individual units countering rock, paper, scissors. It's the categories of units, which again is very much kind of a Command and Conquer type situation, where the...
Heading out.
where like vehicles
Standing guard.
completely counter infantry in almost every context.
Acknowledged.
Nice work, reinforced infantry engine.
Conducting battlefield survey.
Awaiting orders. Heading out.
All right, another base opened up. I guess let's get up here and destroy the remaining buildings.
Commander.
I don't think there's really room for any more trenches. I did destroy the command center, right? Oh, it's his headquarters. Okay, I thought it was the command center. Yes, we have flamethrowers. Let's go. We can throw them under the swarms. So I think we want to always be leading with vehicles, because if there are enemy vehicles, they kill our infantry near immediately.
We are ready.
So we have to be careful about that.
You wanna live forever?
So where are these these cataphracts? They ignore armor, so these actually would be pretty good again. It doesn't say if these are. I would imagine they do concussive damage because it's fire, but I don't know. Elnec forward headquarters. Yeah, the Elnec were the ones that revolted at the end of Liberation of Howells. Throw down some smoke. Throw down some more smoke.
Tau Signy Command, Japorek to Tau Signy Command. We have just destroyed Commander Black's base, but we believe he has escaped. We are securing the area. Oh my god, they're here! Command, I can confirm reports of Xenos activity. Holy hell, they're everywhere! Retreat, men! Retreat! Back to base!
Oh, really? All the way back.
Understood.
Oh, Japra.
Japra.
Japra. Let's go.
Come on, you slugs! You wanna live forever?
Uh-oh.
Order, sir.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, this is very bad.
Awaiting your word.
After all that... Alright, hang on. I'll tell you how you can kind of cheese this. Right, we're near the end. Where's Japwa?
We are ready.
We're going to send you to sit back
Come on,
here.
you slugs! You wanna live forever?
So that when we destroy the base again, it's all over. So I will fight through this base again.
Target designated.
Which, believe you me, I'm not super thrilled about. But what I have enjoyed is just the general function of this faction, and I wish there was a bit more of a sandbox to play around with it.
What is your order?
I really like the mech, and I would love to be able to use more of the mech type options, for sure. Okay, we're going to smoke screen here. We're going to smoke screen here. And then I need you coming over here to hit this tank. I think they still do splash damage unsieged through the swarm. Or the smoke screen, rather.
Awaiting orders.
Oh my god, they're here. You know what? I think we should leave all this infrastructure
Standing guard.
and just go straight for the objective. We know it's not that far over to the left.
Standing guard.
So let's get these guys hitting the actual objective. That was kind of a gotcha moment. There's not much I could have done there. And at least there'll be stuff here that will distract them.
Japorek to Tau Signy Command. Japorek to Tau Signy Command. We have just destroyed Commander Black's base, but we believe he has escaped. We are securing the area. Oh my god, they're here! Command, I can confirm reports of Xenos activity. Holy hell, they're everywhere! Retreat, men! Retreat! Back to base!
So it's very possible that this retreat section is sort of meant to be dependent on how many sentry guns you were able to leave intact throughout the trench running section. I think that the enemy could certainly be beefed up. Like, it's very much, back and forth and back. Oh, they're not even attacking the
None shall pass.
This poor guy, he really wants to be a hero.
Let's get going.
I think
Japorek, reporting in.
Japorek is far enough ahead. I could have put Japorek inside of a... Oh, this is perfect. All right, you're going to be sacrificed, buddy. But we could have put Japra inside of a transport and maybe moved him a little bit faster, but these mechs are really not that quick. in the first place, so. Not enough energy, I'm sorry. A brave stand. They have certainly made a brave stand, but that's as good as it's going to get. We'll just put you on hold position right here.
Attacking the
Awaiting
enemy.
your word.
I think if I didn't sort of cheese it in the way that I'm doing it here, this would have been pretty tough, but this is fine.
Conducting
We'll try to save what we can, but I mean, I think the Ultralisks and the Zerglings have the speed upgrade, so they're just able to blast on top of us. So it's going to take a bit of time for Japro to run away. I think, you know, having some units spawn along the way backwards and having it so that these units aren't up your asshole so that you literally have to nonstop move would force the player to manage, you know, delaying the yellow Zerg, but also maybe having some spawn Zerg that appear in the trenches, and also having your sentry guns that you control react to them so that you're rewarded a bit for playing well in the first trench section. I think, so like this second section could certainly be fluffed up. I think, again, treating this more of like a demo and understanding the faction, I liked the introduction of the mechanical units, which we didn't really get to see in Liberation of Hawaz. So this was a very nice upgrade, I think, to what we saw last time. But I think the map itself could be more interesting to allow the player to use some more of the interesting things at their disposal in the faction. Because I think the faction speaks well for itself. It doesn't necessarily have to be a macro... oh, God. It doesn't have to necessarily be a macro map where I can build everything in the whole tech tree. But I think, again, just adding more to this map... They're stuck. Yeah, and eventually you could stop the Zerg from spawning. They don't need to be endless, because then this will happen. But again, this is like, in my opinion, relatively minor things in terms of like the unit unplaceable. That's just like a semi... It's not really a bug per se, but it's just sort of an error that can be easily fixed. But in terms of like crafting the map itself, I would love to see...
Awaiting orders.
I would really like to just see more to do on the map itself. It's kind of hard for me to just to think about like what that means. Well, see, they are spawning here too. Oh my gosh, why are these so strong? Oh my. It's possible as Japra gets further ahead.
We are ready.
It's very possible that as Japra gets further ahead, it spawns stuff behind you, because having these super strong ones spawn ahead of you would be kind of bullshit. Though it's possible they're really susceptible to Tesla Grenade, which I didn't really try. But again, I am quite intrigued by the options of the faction. I guess some ideas is maybe make the trenches less windy, like less samey. You know, have one trench go halfway over, and then you come over and have to destroy an enemy outpost, and then you wrap up to the next one, which goes across the whole screen. I'm kind of unclear on what this is about, and it's possible there's a triggered section that I missed that didn't fire properly, perhaps, where we were supposed to get a base, or White was supposed to expand further up. Because I get the impression, again, that White here was supposed to continue attacking, but they stopped. So that may completely change the entire way the map is played. It's very possible. So I apologize, Rossville, if this map simply didn't work in the intended way when I'm playing it and showcasing it. Again, that's unfortunate. But maybe you can enlighten us a bit more on like the more intended
Awaiting your word.
experience that was supposed to happen here. Because I think these guys were supposed to continue to attack in more of a tug-of-war type
You have
way.
the command channel.
But I like the custom music. I like the idea that we have an ally that's supposed to be supporting us.
Moving to destination.
And I like the idea of having to retreat at the end, but again, it's just walking at the end because the enemy gets endless spawns, so the idea of combat is kind of silly. Like, you're not going to stop and fight them. You just have to do what you got to do to delay, I suppose.
Taken 2 of the trenches. So what? I've already sent my cracked Storm Marine send your little escapade. Do me a favor. Surrender.
Right. So clearly that was something that was supposed to fire probably up in this general vicinity. So I think there's a good chance that we unfortunately broke the triggers that are supposed to fire as you take certain trenches. Like, we got the Deltron trigger, we got the Azathan trigger. But I think something was supposed to happen here. There has to have been something that was supposed to happen in the middle, but I'm not sure what. So if anyone else has played this, please enlighten me. I'm also willing to try this again just to sort of see what happens. It's just the issue is it takes so long winding through the trenches. So maybe I'll do it off camera, and I'll give it a go, but I definitely want to leave this playthrough in Again, even though it's kind of unfortunate, I apologize, Rossville, for this being the thing that people get to see. But I think it's important that you also know like what the circumstances were that led to this happening. So I'll give it a go. I'll give it like a separate try and see what happens. So I didn't get anything new to fire when I finished these groups of trenches. I was just kind of curious if I would. That's what I was going to play through to see. But I do notice that, you know, there's some clumpage issues, so it's probably also a good idea to increase the amount of raised area here, because then, you know, stuff gets stuck, and I think it messes up the ability for new stuff to spawn. Like, I think these guys want to try to move out, but they can't because... I mean, that might be the crux of the majority of the issues that we'd seen previously, because we saw that our our allies couldn't move out either, and it's possible because they want to move, but they can't, and it's the same with red, which may inadvertently stop other triggers from firing based on location triggers with however they might be coded in. So, again, just something to keep in mind. At the very least, I'd like to think that I helped, you know, find bugs and give ideas for ways to make the map function better. I don't think there are any issues with the mod as far as I can tell, and I think the mod will be quite fun, so I really look forward to other opportunities to goof around with the mod in other circumstances, and I think the map here just has some trigger problems. But again, that's not...
We are ready.
That's okay. It happens. What I'm going to do is stop here, because I've already technically beaten the map. And I will see everyone next time. Again, leave your thoughts below, primarily on the mod. I think we can all see what's happened here on this map, so it kind of speaks for itself. But, again, I like the look of the custom models. I like the unique voice acting as well, because I don't think that there were custom voices in Liberation of Hawas, or if there were, they were taken from other custom maps. Whereas this one, it looks like has new voicing. He said he had his friends do it, and I quite like it. All right, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time for the next submission. Bye now.